All right. Welcome back to another episode of Row 26 here. You see who I'm with, boys. Sixers, Hotheads, Dreamers. You know we're here. Hotsy, talk to us, people.
Yeah, welcome to the Row. Obviously, we wanted to compete with the biggest and the best, the presidential debate, the most watched thing in America right now. We think we'll show them up. Viewers pop off in the chat. We're just excited to get into it. Obviously, week one, everyone, every show talks about the overreaction. So we're going to give our quote-unquote overreactions that we think are actually factual reactions. Zach, you want to set us off or you want me to go first?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll set it off, bro. I also want to welcome in our guest here, Eddie Saint. Yo, Eddie, welcome in, kid. Welcome to the Row.
Thank you.
I apologize. Welcome, Eddie.
I didn't want to skip over the little introduction. I got to give
right,
some
man.
love. I got to give him some love. But welcome to the Row, bro. Yeah, man. And we left the draft board up. We just wanted to let you guys know that we're going to probably keep this as our banner just because it feels right as we have different members of the league on the podcast throughout the season. It makes sense to keep the draft board up there and for everyone to always be able to revert back to who made the dumb decisions originally. But yeah, let's get into it here. Some overreactions. The Giants are fucking terrible. That's not an overreaction, for example.
That's not an overreaction.
Yeah, there's nothing to really talk about. All their former players are balling. McKinney with a pick, Saquon with 3 touchdowns. Like, how you want to slice it? Anybody that they didn't sign, perfect, doing amazing. Everyone that they did sign, Daniel Jones, it's dead. Everyone's dead. We all know it was dead. So that's not an overreaction, but I just wanted to get that off and let you guys know an example of not an overreaction take. My overreaction take is that the Jacksonville Jaguars are not anything. They are fake. They're exactly what I thought Trevor Lawrence was. Everyone loves Trevor Lawrence for fantasy reasons. I understand. He gets the yards. He's got some talent, I think, on the outside with Brian Thomas. I think there's something there with that guy. He definitely has some talent. But I just don't believe in Trevor Lawrence. I don't believe in Doug Peterson. And that defense just feels a little bit weaker. It doesn't feel like they're exactly as stout. Allen's nice, like Josh Allen's a nice pass rusher, but still, he had a boneheaded penalty in that game, I believe, for 15 yards at an important time. So, I don't know. I'm not a big Jaguars guy. I'm not a big Trevor Lawrence guy. So, I'm kind of my overreaction is that they're going to be bad for the rest of the season. And the other 2 teams in that division are finishing above them, the Colts and the Houston Texans. But I'll throw it to you, Johnny. I'll let you get one off and talk about your overreaction for what you think overreaction is.
Well, real quick, I just want to get like a proper defined. What are we talking about record-wise? What are we talking about draft pick-wise?
Under 500. Under 500.
Under 500. Correct. And I just want to react to your take. I think that's a solid take. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has shown moments, but he's also shown a lot of like mediocrity throughout his time. And this year, I think, is really important year for here.
Yeah.
I don't want to say make or break in an era where quarterbacks making an unreal amount of money. He's going to get plenty of more opportunities, whether that's in Jacksonville or not. Mm-hmm. But in terms of being someone I look at as a legit quarterback moving forward, top 10, or better, he needs to show me something this year. Eddie, what are your thoughts on Zach's overreaction? What are we talking about?
Yeah, honestly, to piggyback off what you were saying, I totally agree. It's been a lot of up and down with that man, with Trevor Lawrence. I know he got his contract, but at the end of the day, there's really not a big laundry list of quarterbacks that are better than him, unfortunately. But to keep it real, like you said, this is the year. Like, he got paid already. But like, this is the year that we're gonna really know what is Trevor Lawrence really about.
Absolutely.
Like, he had the Calvin Ridleys of the world. He has Brian Thomas now. Like, he has ETN. Like, he has a solid D. He got the quarterback, like the coach, like you said.
Yeah.
But like, this is it, dude. Like, you're not in like the strongest division right now.
I agree.
Unfortunately, your division is on the up. The Colts are there. AR is there. TJ Stroud's here.
Yikes.
These guys are entering the scene hot, dude. Coming in hot.
And
you better keep up with these young boys, because
who's the 4th team in that division? Quickly, who's the 4th team in that division?
The Tennessee Titans.
They're dead. Yeah.
Titans. I'm not.
This is
Mayo. I'm not a Mayo.
I just want to applaud Eddie hitting the nail on the head with the new quarterbacks coming up, because it's almost like Jacksonville missed their window. And they made the playoffs, and they had some decent times. But going into last year, that was maybe their opportunity. Obviously, we don't know how good Stroud is going to be, but still, like last year was their move.
Yeah.
They won the playoff game the year before against the Chargers when they were down 1 million points or whatever, made that crazy comeback. Now it's like, okay, they're on the up, and then they kind of, farted out last year. But I'll get into my take. And that is, Maine, close your ears. The Atlanta Falcons are not going to win that division. They were ridiculous favorites ahead of time. You know, minus money
cash out my bet. I got to cash out my bet now.
A minus money play in a 4-team division that, you know, the Buccaneers have made steps. And watching that game yesterday, I fully feel that Kirk Cousins, is he better than Desmond Ridder? Sure. Are they the most talented team in that division? Sure. But guess what? That was true of last year. They were the most talented team, and they couldn't win that division. And the rest of the division, besides the Panthers, have gotten better, similar to the Titans situation in the AFC South. And now we're at the point where the Saints have leveled up a little bit. And also the Buccaneers have leveled up a little bit. And now we have to find out if Raheem Morris can actually coach a talented team and take them to that next level. But when I watched that game on Sunday, yes, the Steelers have a good defense. Yes, Mike Tomlin is a good coach. But when you are down 5, the first play of the drive after one of those botched kickoffs in the new rules gets you to the 40. You get a 14-yard run on first down from Bijan. It's 1st and 10. You're down 5 with like 6 or 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You throw on first down when TJ Watt's been terrorizing you all day. You don't bring extra help to that side. He gets in his face, and then Kirk throws into triple coverage, and they get a pick to virtually put the game on ice.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's kind of like, all right,
why Watt is a man. We got to mention that just while you're talking there. Like, that guy is a fucking
unbelievable. He gets penalties called on him because he's too good. He jumps the snaps so well that they throw him off sides when he technically is on sides, but it's just too quick of a jump that you can't let it be legal almost. But just that, watching that, when I saw that decision making from play call to quarterback to offensive line scheme, all 3 of those things made my head fucking spin.
Eddie, what do you think about that? What do you think about the Falcons, honestly? Do you think it's just smoke, it's
honestly,
one game?
That was an awesome take by Hodge and how he broke everything down. And you know, the concern, I see it. But I'm going to respectfully disagree with you. Like, honestly, I think that's like, you know, it's week 1. Kirk broke it. Yeah, excuse me. He didn't break his leg, but he had a season-ending injury. You know, Duke has a new team, new arena. I'm sure, like, you know, every time, you know, get in a little fight before or a game, whatever, you get those little butterflies, whatever. It was week 1, dude. At the end of the day, and honestly, to me, I'm not sold on anyone in that division. I guess I respect my man Baker Mayfield. Like, Tampa is dumb, guys. Like, they got Mike Evans, who's still that guy. Like, you know, they're solid. I'll give you that. Saints, not sold on. You played the worst team. You played an expansion team. You played a team that had 100 people at their week 1 game. Yeah. Like, I'm not sold on it. Even
and it sounds like a joke, too.
Other leagues, like, I'm not sold on them just yet. And, you know, so... And who else is the other team? We got the Saints, Panthers, Bucks. I covered everyone else.
So you got everyone, and this is the Panthers who are not mentionable. The's no reason to mention them. So you did exactly what you were supposed to do there without you to even notice.
Certainly a hot take. I mean, but like, you know, I get the concern, but I'm really not. I think they got the best running back, even though I got my man Kamara, who still got it and whatnot. But I think Bijan's gonna pick it up. I saw my man Pitts got a little tutty the other day, which was rare. My man wasn't getting any love since he's been drafted. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, him, Drake London, they find a little rhythm. Maybe something, you know, there could be a little spark there. But I wouldn't count them out.
Yeah.
Throw it to Zach quick.
I don't know. Both of you compelling arguments, I must say. You both make legitimate, logical arguments for each side. Like, I have to just say that first. I'm inclined to lean to Hots just a little, and here's why. The Raheem Morris thing is so real. Him as the head coach is like so real. That is a problem, and we've seen that problem before. So I feel like that part of the take.
Where was he at before? Chargers?
I think he was on the Rams as the head coach, right? Before McVay. Is that right?
Raheem Morris has been the head coach of the Buccaneers. He's been the D coordinator for the Falcons when Dan Quinn was there. Raheem Morris's coaching tree has had holes in it, especially at the head coach level. But where I fall in this take also is that, why is Raheem Morris the head coach? This is an organization that's been in dysfunction for a long time.
Absolutely.
Not for nothing. They brought Belichick in for not 1, but 2 interviews, and then you don't give him the job, and then you hire Raheem Morris. I get if you don't want to go with Belichick, but then you have to go young. innovative, offensive. If you're going to go a veteran coach and go defensive and then go against Bill Belichick, that is an organization in dysfunction.
Yeah, that is malpractice by definition, what you just described. But beyond that, though, I want to say one thing. Your take about them missing the playoffs, I don't think I agree with that part of it. So the division's too weak. I also think that they might hook Cousins if it gets egregious, and Penix could be the guy. Like, for all you know, like $180 million that went to this guy could be for this guy, but like, you don't give a fuck if you're that fucking team because Arthur Blank's a blank check anyway. So in one way you do have to let the guy who got paid play to some extent. He's going to get enough games to see whether or not it's fucked. But it's so like if he goes 3-3, he's going to keep the job essentially is what I mean. But if it's something, if it's like 1-5 and egregious and Daniel Jones looking a little bit, and it's not just against Pittsburgh's defense, but it continues to be this way. And Pitts to me is like a crapshoot. Like 3 for 25 is what he got in that game. It was a tud on an open, broken play. Like that's fine, but to me, he really didn't affect the game at all. Drake London was a non-factor in that game for the record. Without Bijan in that game, literally doing everything possible, catching the ball, running the ball, they probably weren't even in the fucking game. It would have been 18-0, actually. So I don't know. I mean, I agree with that. That's why I agree with Hots that the fake part, because the offense just seemed anemic.
What I'll say is I'll agree with the Penix point. That could be an X factor kind of situation. It is extremely rare in sports that teams go with benching a guy who's super paid, and that's not just football. That's baseball. You saw the Phillies start Tywin Walker this year still because they paid him. When obviously Spencer Turnbull was playing so much better than Walker's maybe played his whole career. But
DJ LeMahieu's been still in the lineup until this week of a fake injury, only because he's getting paid.
Great GMs don't want to go down with the ship if they make that move. And GMs are included in the starting lineup. That's
the GM's guy here. So this is a unique situation. I want to say one thing. I agree with your point, but this is unique. Both guys came in the same year. One guy through free agency, one guy through as a top 10 pick. So in theory, they're both like accruing fans from the same spot.
That's actually a very well made point, because
you know what I mean. So like, if this guy's fucking up and he's losing the fan base, it's going to be very easy for Penix to clamor because he's a top 10 pick. Like, this guy's not just like a second or third or fourth round pick.
No, that's actually a fantastic point. He almost put himself in a situation where he can't go wrong.
Right, the GM is locked because it's like, oh, you thought Kirk Cousins was back? Well, I got insurance for that because I kind of knew that he might be fuck off the Achilles.
Because he went like, oh, pay Cousins a ton of money, and he also spent a ton of draft capital.
He had his bet.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it makes the Penix draft almost make more sense when you break it down like that. But that's my take.
Everyone that night was like, "What the hell, Penix?" Whatever.
We were all cribbing on there.
That GM looked like a genius, even if he benches the guy he paid a ton of money to because he used that high pick on Penix.
You know, that's actually very clever. Be filthy for the next 15 years. You don't even know what you're looking at. This guy Kirk is just.
The last thing we'll say until we have some fun in the Hots corner. I just want to throw in real quick. This is heavily resting on a Bucs performance against a woeful Commanders defense. You know,
same thing with the Saints against the Panthers. Like, that's what you were saying. That's bottom feeding.
The Panthers I'm less sold on the Saints than I am the Buccaneers. I like the Bucs.
That's right. Yeah,
you know,
Eddie said that before. We like Baker. Yeah, that team is sound. As what Eddie said, I think you said they're like sound. They're good. I think is what you said. Like a perfect description. Like not so great, not amazing. They're just good.
Yeah, and I like the subtle things they did, like Jalen McMillan from Washington. Everyone talks about Polk. Everyone talks about, obviously, Rome Odunze. Jalen McMillan's a player, you know, and they got him in the draft to be that guy, the third to Godwin and obviously Mike Evans, but also like he could even surpass Godwin. If one of those guys gets hurt, he could step into a bigger role. And then also I like locking down Antoine Winfield Jr. You know, I like when you commit to your good guys that you drafted for a long time. Sure. And I think he's a young guy who's still, as good as he is, getting better. But
is it not weird?
Backup Bucky Irving had some pop, by the way. What do you say, Eddie?
Is it not weird to you that Devin White is not on the team? Like, I didn't.
Where is he?
He's on the
Philly. Yeah, he's an Eagle.
Oh, is he hurt?
No, I think he didn't
play. He didn't play week 1.
Yeah. But he's not. Even when he does come back, it's like Zach Bond. You know, they're going to be rotational. He's not going to be every. He hasn't been a beast. He started off a beast, but he's fallen off a lot.
Though. He looked like an.
Oh, Zach Bond. I thought you meant.
No, Zach Bond.
I meant Devin White. Yeah.
Zach Bond.
He was like 15 tackles.
He made me know his name by the end of the night.
He's a game. He got a game ball that game for the defense.
For sure. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Eddie, by the way, do you have an overreaction take, anything at all? Like that you feel like might actually continue for the rest of the season?
Let's hear it.
Positive or negative?
Smile.
AR wins MVP. It could be anything.
Yo, this is a super overreaction.
All right, here we go.
All right.
The Bengals are not making the playoffs.
Yo.
They're not making the playoffs.
I think that's a good one.
I like that a lot.
I think I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the urgency. I know they have a stud quarterback. Honestly, I haven't seen anything since he made it to the AFC Championship and all the way as deep as they got. And
he made the Super Bowl.
So he went to Super Bowl, correct? Yeah, that's right. He went to the Super Bowl. Since then, I haven't seen much. Jamar Chase with his little petty shit. I get it. Everyone got paid by him. But if he don't go, they're not going. And I got to see more of their line. Zach Moss, my guy. I saw him do a little thing this
That's
week.
your boy.
But they took an L this week to the New England Patriots.
Underrated defense. Underrated.
A brand new head coach.
Yeah.
Week one. Overreaction. 110%.
No.
I love it. Yeah. Go ahead. Take it away.
Just to play devil's advocate, obviously the Bengals have started slow. I think they're like 1-5 in their opening games the last few years. Like they are slow starters notoriously. And to Zach's point, I do think New England's going to be a little better. Like I've thought hard about betting their over/under on wins this year. Like I just think New England, Gerard Mayo, it's the same culture. They're going to spin it over. It's a Belichick disciple. There's not going to be this Panthers level blow up there. I think that no matter what, they're going to win 6 games. They're not going to be an easy out for anybody. They're going to play hard. And then the Bengals, though, to your point, Jamar Chase almost looked like he was still holding in. Like, I'll play.
Yeah.
I'll get some passes.
I'll pull up.
Yeah. Like, I'll go out there and give my, 70%. He didn't look like
6 for 6 on 6 targets.
Yeah, for like 60 yards. Like he didn't do anything spectacular.
Yeah,
like he didn't. Yeah. I love Jamar Chase. He's my favorite non-Cowboy in the NFL. I loved him at LSU. Like I love Jamar Chase.
That's documented. Row 26 take for the record.
I know Jamar Chase is a better player than he was on Sunday, if he's playing his hardest. And he's more. He can make himself more of an impact on the game, and that's no slight at Christian Gonzalez. Yeah. I do think he has a bright future at corner in the NFL.
Mac Jones at safety. That team is kind of cool.
But I do think Eddie's 100% right. If Jamar Chase is sulking all season, that's a problem.
If he's sulking, dude, by week 4, I don't think they're in good shape. Look, I'm looking at the American, the conference, right? You got
AFC North.
East. Okay, AFC North. Yeah. Baltimore, right? You say lock in Baltimore. AFC East. Lock in. Who do you want to lock in?
Miami.
No. Okay. How about this one? Lock in. Miami, Buffalo, New York Jets.
Both of them are making the playoffs.
Miami, okay? But again, you only get 2, right? I mean, you only get division leaders. So let's go.
You think 3 teams from the AFC East are making the playoffs?
AFC South. Let's go Texans, just to say. I'm not right. Texans, and then obviously the Chiefs. You got 4 division winners. Then you got the wild card. Who you got? You got the Jets, like I said. You got Miami. Honestly, I don't know. Fuck, Mike Thomas did not sleep on the Steelers.
Yeah. No, they have
not sleep on the Steelers. Like, and then you got the Colts. So, like, Bengals, like, you gotta, like, the AFC's not messing around this year, bro.
But when you broke it down, I really was like, I don't see 2 teams from the AFC South. I don't see 2 teams from the AFC West. So now we're down to there's 3 wild card spots among the AFC East and the AFC North. It's going to be hard to keep the Bengals out.
It's tight. I don't know.
I
like your take on the Bengals. Just to acknowledge the first thing. I like your take on the Bengals.
Could be Bills, Jets, Steelers. Could be Bills. And obviously, the AFC South, the Colts could be better. The Jaguars could still make a push. But in the AFC West, I will say, Broncos, Raiders are not making the playoffs, and the Chargers are the only team that's got a shot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Only because their head coach. And that boy J.K. Dobbins is all his bullshit. That boy J.K. Dobbins.
That's my boy right
is
there.
a revamped man out there in L.A. And shout out to him for having a hell of a game.
He's a Latina, yo. He's Spanish kid. He's the man.
I think he's a Latino. I don't think he's a Latino.
No, excuse me. That's a Latino. My bad. Yeah, someone's gonna clip that and send it to him. Someone just called you a Latina on wax.
He's like, she's a Latina. J.K. Dobbins. She's a Latina.
No, I like your take about the Bengals. Their defense is not good. I think that's the main problem I have with them. Burrow, I feel like, will come around. That fumble at the goal line, like they really should have won the game, to be honest. That bullshit fumble from the tight end, that shit's like a once in a very tough play. Like Gesicki dropped a touchdown too. I feel like the Bengals.
Right?
What happened?
It's so odd. Like the Bengals always had a good D going.
Always have problems though. That's the thing. There's always clouds over the Bengals, and I agree.
They start 0-2 like every year. Like the year they went to the Super Bowl, I think they were 0-2 or 1-1. You know.
Yeah. So I don't know.
They're slow starters. They're an organization that also isn't very well run. But let's get into the Hots Corner. We could talk about football forever. We're all football guys. We could probably talk about every team and break down what we think they're going to be. So let's have some fun with it.
Grab a cigar. Grab a
coffee. I need a freaking out. So matter how I live with I have 4 kids. You gotta go. I walk outside.
I'm not smoking. I just took a little bit of one of these gummies though. See, it's blurred out.
Super dad of the year, dad of the century.
Yeah.
Trying, man. Trying.
That's it.
Because of my life, man. My papa, shout out to my son, starts his first place flag football.
Hey.
NFL sponsored. I can't.
Football's the best.
I'm gonna be coaching him every Sunday.
Hell yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah, my life is made.
Yeah, you're doing awesome, man. We're so proud of you. Let's get into the Hots Corner. Zach, you going first?
All right, start it off.
All right. Ice cream or NFL Red Zone? You have to give up one forever. Which one you giving up?
Oh, ice cream.
Hell yeah.
Ice cream.
All right.
Honestly, I'm trying to give it up right now. It's not working. But
that's a funny one.
NFL Red Zone, you'll never catch me now and give that up. No.
Would you rather have the world's thinnest lips or the world's smallest ears?
I don't have neither, so it's. I think the small lips is kind of sus. So I'm going to the smallest lips. No freaky. Pause.
All right. Give up one forever: mashed potatoes or mac and cheese.
Shit. Well, I guess. Dang. Mashed potatoes. I'm lying. Mac and cheese.
Hell yeah! Good comeback. Good save. What current non-quarterback player would you want most on your favorite NFL team?
Oh, that's a fucking awesome question.
Oh, thank you.
That's a really good question. Josh Allen. Oh, non-quarterback. I'm sorry.
Non-quarterback. Yeah.
Disregard. Ooh.
You could pass and go to the next one.
No, I don't want to pass. I don't want to pass. This is really good. I'm trying to think. Because honestly, I'll tell you straight up, I need a running back on my team. So I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey.
All right.
That's a good one.
Last
one.
That
was a sellout.
Not a setup.
That's good. It's chalk.
Last one. How would you power rank these superhero abilities? Flight, super strength, and the ability to control fire.
Super strength.
Super strength 1.
Fly.
2.
Control fire.
3. Got it. All right, Zach, you're up.
All right. 50 Cent, Votto, Jadakiss, Styles P.
Jadakiss.
Who's the odd man out?
Say it again. My apologies.
Votto, 50 Cent, Jadakiss, Styles P. Who's the odd man out?
Votto.
Wow. Joe Burrow or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
I can't believe I wrote that without even, I didn't even know. Mount Rushmore of Knicks players for you.
Cool. Ewing. Melo, 100%. I'm already going with Jalen. And call a hot take, Mark Stoudemire.
Hell yeah. That's wild.
Okay.
Come on, Bree!
Love him, Mark.
Oh, boy.
All right. Would you rather get hit on a slant blind by Sean Taylor or clotheslined by the Big Show?
The Big Show.
Name the best 5
Taylor.
Yeah. We'll get into it.
That's a crazy question.
Name the best 5 teams in the NFL, excluding the top 4 from last year. So no Chiefs, Ravens, Niners, Lions. So who's the top 5 teams, excluding those?
No Chiefs.
No Chiefs, no Ravens, no Lions, no Niners. Who are the 5
I don't
other
have a
best
list
teams?
in front of me, so I'm gonna go. Yuri Snow. Going Cowboys.
Yuri Snow.
Yuri Snow. I'm going Cowboys. I'm going. See, I would say Green Bay. Jordan Love was. I would say Green.
Let's keep them in there. Cowboys, Green Bay.
Cowboys, Green Bay. I'm biased. New York Jets. And hold up a second. Let's see my NFC. You said the Detroit? You said Kansas.
Yeah. They were in the. They were
in
in
top
the
4, right?
Top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you got to have some takes here at this point. There, you're
take a leap at it. You know, don't worry about it.
Eagles should be in there. Yeah.
Eagles.
I was about to say. I don't want to be.
It hurts my heart to say it. Eagles,
right.
For sure.
And then who's
the team? They're solid.
Who's the 5th? So
and then one more. We'll discuss it in a minute.
One more.
And one more.
Houston Texans. I'll give it to you.
Fine. Texans are honestly, I really like the Dolphins.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
I really love
Texans. All right, let's get into the questions. Hots, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I mean, ice cream or NFL Red Zone, bro. You could take all the fucking ice cream in the world, throw it in the trash. Give me Red Zone all day, every day. It comes to Sunday night. It comes to Sunday Night Football. Don't get me wrong. I always have the Cowboys on the main TV and the Red Zone on the when the Cowboys are on. The Cowboys are main TV sound, and then Red Zone's on the laptop or the secondary TV. But fucking when I get to the Sunday night game and like there's commercials and there's no other football going on during the commercials, I'm like been conditioned now by Red Zone. And obviously we all grew up without Red Zone. Like we knew times of Sunday Ticket or, but the Red Zone's just the fucking best. I love Red Zone. People are like, I hate the take of like, oh, you're not like a real football fan if you like Red Zone. Like you don't like, I don't like watching people stand in the huddle. I don't care for it. I don't need it in my life. I like switching around. That's what I did before.
You have 10,000 hours of watching full games before Red Zone ever fucking existed, you little boy. So like, I grew up watching real football only because Red Zone is like for you little pussies, not for what I grew up with.
And even when I grew up, I was always switching. If the Cowboys weren't on, I'm switching the games. I'm watching all the. I'm changing around. This is whatever's going
Red
on.
Zone is the most convenient thing for a diehard football fan. Hands down. It's like a natural high. Ice cream gives you a little high for fucking 10 minutes.
It's got it made nowadays.
Sugar rush and it's good. Nah. Red Zone. 6 hours of best.
I like how you call it a high because it's legit like a drug. Like it is like a football drug.
Oh, crack. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like we went to the Cowboy game that year, Hots. I had one beer and I thought I was just high being.
That was crazy.
It was just an atmosphere of just like this is.
I can't imagine being an AT&T.
Being at Jerry World at a playoff game that they win. That's like one of Which game was that? That's like one of 2. Like I think they've won 2 playoff games ever in Dallas at the new stadium, and we were there for one of them.
Stafford.
Yeah, that was
against Detroit.
Yeah, there was
the week before it wasn't a catch.
They were down 14-0, and they came back and won the game. That was fucking crazy. I still have the shirt. I wear it all the time. Oh man, that's a real high.
These in Tutty at the end. I remember just gonna. It's a rough thing. Oh man!
If Red Zone is weed, that is like candy flipping. That's like doing mushrooms and fucking acid at the same time.
Going into the AT&T.
Yeah, that was crazy. But but Red Zone's the right answer. I mean, ice cream.
Yeah.
You could, and I'm not even saying cheat, and you could do frozen yogurt. Like, just like none of that bullshit. Give me fucking Red Zone every day, all day. The next question I had is the world's thinnest lips or the world's smallest ears. Obviously, a lesser of two evils question, and I 100% agree with you. You can't show up.
That's great. Like you're from Iowa or something.
Look, deaf. I'll be all right.
Yeah,
like Idaho or something.
I'll fucking cut my ears off of my head before I have the world's thinnest lips. I'll have no ears. I'll be deaf. Like you said, you could be deaf. Yeah, I'll be blind. I don't know if I can give up my sight. I would go around like this.
You can kiss somebody with your
Yeah.
Kiss someone with your face.
Yeah, with your skin. With your skin, not with your lips.
You're kissing someone with your whole face. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, your whole
I'm glad we're on the same page. That was an odd question. You landed there like damn. But it was a no-brainer once it processed to my mind.
Yeah. There was a processing section, and I was like, he's gonna find it.
I can even imagine, like, I don't know, like black dudes with smaller ears. I've remembered with like. That's like still looks like a normal person to me.
Also, side take, like the world's smallest ears. Like think about the smallest ears you've ever seen. Like I haven't seen someone where I'm like, man, those ears are small. Like I've never thought that. I've thought of big ears. Yeah, I've never been like, that got small ears.
Cool for me. How you doing?
All right, moving on. I was like, I'm piggybacking off of Casey, like largest head or largest hands. Like I think I'm gonna.
He'll be proud. I'll flip it for him and I'll send it to him.
These lesser of two evil questions, but give up one forever. Mashed potatoes or mac and cheese? He almost fucked that up, and then he came back.
Oh shit!
Mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. Get out the fucking door. It's good. You could bake it, make it nice in the oven. Sometimes, but mashed potatoes is A1. If you're doing a Thanksgiving draft, that's
mac and cheese is just quintessential. It's quintessential.
Special guest, Jaden. Hey, Jaden, could you bring on the wine for me? No, you're done.
It's just quintessential.
That's Jaden. Mac and cheese, mashed
potatoes, or mac and cheese.
You have to give up mashed potatoes or mac and cheese for the rest of your life. What are you picking? Mashed potatoes.
You're raising this.
Because people like the mac and cheese pasta. Like they like the cheese pasta.
I can do pasta with anything else. I don't need cheese on it. You know?
That's true. And does grated cheese count? Like
you could just eat pasta with Parmesan cheese. Now that's not mac and cheese, bro. Right. That's a different. I'm Italian. That was the most disrespectful thing I ever heard in my life. He's like, pasta with a fucking Parmesan cheese is the same thing as mac and cheese. Go fucking home with this
I'm just
shit.
trying to get around.
That was
corners. I'm cutting corners.
Like, can you still do that? Of course you can still do that.
That doesn't count as mac and cheese, does it?
Of course not. It's fucking mac
and cheese.
You make it in a fucking blue box.
With the mashed potatoes then.
Or if you're fucking going through it, maybe ShopRite brand box.
Yo, good mashed potatoes sometimes. Boston Market.
Yeah. My kids eat Mr. Robert Kraft's mac and cheese all the time, son.
Yeah, hell yeah. Fucking Kraft Heinz, baby, all day,
things
every
I
day.
can make, by the way, mashed potatoes.
Yeah, congratulations.
Instant mash.
He's like, yeah, mashed potatoes if
water, butter.
No, I just leave it at the rim. All Hotson's got to do is just dunk it. I'm dead.
Like, he gets the one that's like pre-made, that's like in the freezer, and you heat it up in the microwave. He's like, you ever heard of Stouffer's? I can make that. Nah, but mac and cheese is good, but like I said, if you're doing like a Thanksgiving Day draft, mashed potatoes is a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
I'm set.
Every meal you could have.
Can't mess up. Next.
All right. What current non-quarterback player would you most want on your favorite NFL team? And I very much love that you took it like as your personal favorite team. You didn't answer it like if I was any team's fan, I would most want this guy. Love that. Christian McCaffrey at running back with this roster would elevate it to the next level.
Him, Barkley, those are it.
Yeah, exactly. A generational running back on this team. Zeke in 2016, not for nothing. You know, a young Zeke could have made.
I enjoyed honestly, I had a lot of heartbreaks, but having Zeke in his prime was just awesome to see. Awesome pass blocking, and
you feel like they screwed it on Pollard. By the way, you guys feel like they screwed the pooch there with Pollard.
What you said?
You feel like they screwed the pooch with Pollard?
Absolutely. I think they screwed the pooch by getting rid of Zeke last year. I think they should have had a humble man conversation with him and understand that he's not going to be RB1, but you're still going to run the combo with both of them. And they were an awesome dual threat. Pollard could not provide everything else that he was missing, which was too much for the Cowboys. Pass blocking, in between the lines, running through your mouth. Like, he just couldn't do it. And unfortunately, I think we should have bet on that. I think we gave, Zeke shipping him off like that was foul to me. It hurt me in my heart. Honestly, I've been loving him since he was in Ohio State. And I think he did so much for us. They gave that guy I mean, Haas can tell you better than me. How many times?
No,
how many times you carried the ball a year, dude?
I think you said
touch the ball a year, dude.
That was a good take.
I think you said it almost perfectly, man. I mean, there's a few things I'd add on. Was like basically just complimenting you. I mean, I think that putting in the caveat of the Pollard fuck up was dependent on the Zeke fuck up the year before,
100%.
where it's the fuck up isn't Tony Pollard oriented. It's the Tony Pollard Ezekiel Elliott combination.
The saga. Yeah.
Breaking up was the problem. If they had them last year together, both doing what they do, that is a much better than a Tony Pollard Rico Dowdle combo.
100%.
And
shout out to Rico Dowdle. I think he busted his ass, and I think he's a strong back. But he wasn't last year, especially.
He doesn't bring additional dimensions. He does all the little things right. He plays hard, but he's not a multi-dimensional or game-changing player, in my humble opinion. Whereas Zeke and Pollard combined had that element of like, we can do all these things. We can smash you, go different directions with it. And I think Pollard is humble enough that he wouldn't mind never stealing Ezekiel Elliott's shine, if you will.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a Zeke thing that he didn't want to give up the spot. I don't know. I wasn't there. But Tony Pollard doesn't seem like that kind of guy, to be honest.
That's a perfectly good point, because honestly, like, I do think it was a Zeke thing. It's hard to tell your star running back who gave you hundreds of carries a year, whatever it was, just be like, yo, listen,
lead the league in rushing.
You were on our team, but you're
3
not
years in a row. Yeah.
And but it says a lot when a man goes to the next team and he's back. That's rare. You see that. It's rare you see it.
You could tell he didn't even want to do it, though, to be honest. And that's why I even respect him for getting out of the conference. He went to the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Like he hid away, almost like in a sense, like
I thought
it was like he didn't even want to fucking be there. It was just like he was there. It has to be. He has to play football.
You guys
I thought he was gonna pull a
Saquon. The Cowboys. He's gonna join the Giants. Like the Giants could use a running back for the last fucking years, like, and just whatever, to platoons Saquon or whatever it was. Like, I don't know.
I think him coming back 1 year later is almost like a recognition of a mistake he made.
Yeah,
100%.
It's like
100%.
It's like going back to your ex-girlfriend, a different girl, and being like,
"Bad baby, I'm here."
You go back to the ex-girlfriend, then marry her, and then do the kids, and do the whole thing, and then free. Then that's
I just one quick point. I'll just say, like, for me, and it's more of a less of a positional need thing and more of like, I just fuck with this guy thing. I said Jamar Chase is my favorite non-Cowboy. My next favorite non-Cowboy is a man by the name of Max Crosby, who is an absolute fucking problem child. And I watch him play, and it's like, we talk about football crack. That's football crack. That guy.
Like more than TJ?
I do.
More than who?
More than
TJ Watt?
I'm not saying he's better than TJ Watt necessarily. I like Max.
It doesn't make your take wrong at all.
There's no wrong answer here for the record. I'm just asking you.
I cheer for Max Crosby harder than I cheer for TJ Watt. I love and respect TJ Watt. He's the best defensive player in football right now. But
show off when he does the fucking just sick. He is so
Max
hyped.
Crosby's just a dude. He's a dog. He's playing amongst, like, even TJ Watt has Highsmith on the other side.
Yeah, facts.
Defensive-minded head coach.
Max is doing this
in fucking Vegas with a fucking shit show. Mark Davis is the owner with a fucking bowl cut at age 70 years old, and he's fucking dominating the NFL with a fucking. We've seen Devontae Adams live and in person on the Receiver Show talk about what it means to be playing in LA and what a fucking shit show it is. Facts. And Max Crosby kind of just rises above that. In Vegas, and just rises above that, and still continues to be a fucking menace, demon, great teammate, great dude. Just an all-time vibes guy for me. That's all I'll say. Zach, how would you answer that question? As a Giants fan or just as an NFL fan?
I'll take a quarterback. But you said non-quarterback. But I'm a Giants fan, so, like, I mean, the Giants, the only thing that it's a tough question because the Giants I'm such a Giant fan, and this team needs a fucking quarterback. But, like, all right, so if it's not a quarterback, probably go pass rusher too. So I think your answer is a good answer. I would go with TJ Watt, though, with my guy between those two guys. So I feel like that guy with Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns, that would be the end of the game probably for most teams. So I don't think you'd be able to block all three of those guys. So
the sleeper pick will be Trent Williams.
Good one too. We have that though. Andrew Thomas is a stud. He was all pro. Doesn't matter if the quarterback throws the ball to the other team.
My man's like damn near 40, and
Yeah.
Your best pass rusher.
And also, you're saying like the quarterback play, like Trent Williams is almost like a one-man run game. Like he
Sure.
just run sets off of what he's athletically capable of doing, and also what he's physically capable of doing in terms of just blowing the other guy in front of him off the ball. It almost adds a yard per carry to your running back just having him as your tackle. But I think the last one was, how would you power rank these superhero abilities? Flight, super strength, and the ability to control fire. Super strength, flight, ability to control fire. I like that list. I like strength. I think strength would be my 1-1.
I think I got a problem.
My hot take.
You a flying ass niggas. That's why, Zach.
My hot take would be give me fire over fucking.
Yo,
The
Pyro
flight.
in X-Men is a fucking G, so I
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
that too. I like that too.
Obviously,
That's
I gotta
Pyro.
fly,
fire.
yo. I'm out. Peace, bro. One.
I'm not gonna lie. I hate driving, so flying would be
Flying, bro? What the fuck? I'm going to Australia. I'll see you guys in a couple.
With fire, if I could control fire, I could probably propel myself to fly. Also,
Oh, now
Fuck
you're talking
trains.
about Fantastic
You know what I
Four
mean?
now. So, all right.
I don't know. You know these fucking superhero shit better than me, bro.
Superhero, all that
I
shit.
do know
I grew
Pyro
up
though, for the
watching that.
record.
Yeah, that's what's his name? In Fantastic Four, the guy that goes to fire. I forget.
Flame on,
Flame
dude.
on, something like that.
Guys
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
Red
yeah.
Bull?
That's a fucking whack superhero named Flame
I
On.
forget who plays him? Someone famous as fuck played him. Who played him? Oh man.
All right, nobody cares.
Chris Evans. Come on.
All right, let's keep it moving here.
Eddie knows the
I wanna get to
superhero.
this food.
No, Eddie knows the superhero shit good. He's like Chris
No.
Evans. I
Yo,
don't
I'm
know.
telling you,
America
he's
play
big,
Chris
bro.
Evans.
Gee, he's
Chris
probably
Evans.
no,
Chris
Chris-
Evans, America, come on.
Chris
Bro,
Evans
go to
is
a bar.
fucking. You can only be one superhero in my brain. That's all I have room for. There's too much like baseball stats from like 2001 in
I got
there.
it all. We're here for all of it, bro. Come on. All right, I want to get to this question
You
though.
can only be one superhero. Fucking Ben Affleck trying to be Daredevil and Batman. I hate that shit.
Yeah, that shit's whack though. George Clooney as Batman was fucking awful. All right. Votto, 50 Cent, Jadakiss, and Styles P. You said Votto was out, right?
Yeah, Votto takes a fucking walk, bro.
Votto was good for like a year, and honestly, Slum. I love that shit. I grew up on that shit. My best friend, I call him Flu.
I think
I mean,
50
people-
might. Oh, the first two albums. Oh man.
But you just put 4 OGs against, someone who came on later in life, like when we were already older. Like,
three
you-
OGs. Then. You mean three OGs. 50 Jada and Styles. You're saying? Versus
Yeah.
Votto.
yeah, 50 Jada and Styles.
Jada's
I
my
know.
favorite.
I know. I just want to hear. I thought it was a little nuanced. Not bad. All
Styles P and Jadakiss and
Who's
50 Cent,
thinking?
honestly.
Styles could be
Votto
maybe the
is
candidate.
gone. Votto
Styles,
is gone. Styles P is 1 for me.
You think
yeah,
Styles is
exactly.
gone?
Gangster and a Gentleman is one.
Styles P is number 1 for me. I had the Styles P
We talked
CD
about this.
that came with a DVD.
We talked
The
about this a couple
Gangster-
years ago,
fucking
John, on the pod. We talked
And-
about this exact shit.
Bro, he went and asked random, like rappers, not random, rappers and athletes, and he was like, he's like, who's like your number 1 gangster? Shit. Like, I watched that video like 100 times, dude. Styles P is 1-1,
Loaded.
then Jadakiss, then 50 Cent, and all those guys are infinitely, I'm listening to more on my Spotify than Votto.
Damn. All right.
You
Why not?
can't even tell me a better song that Votto made that's better than I Get High Times by
All right.
Styles
So
P.
for me personally, there are a couple songs, but that's me personally, and I'd just be like biasly saying it versus like what the masses would
Bro.
say.
All I have to say to you, Zach, is 2 toothbrushes up. Whoever wanted with P, you know the rest.
Yeah.
He said 2
Locked up.
toothbrushes up, bro. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What?
Felony. Yeah, felony.
It's
I'm
actually
gonna get that on wax, but felony N-word, whatever on We Are the Streets is ridiculous.
And shout out to Votto. Rest in peace,
Ridiculous.
D. Ferg. We in the same gang.
A Gangster and a Gentleman as an album, if you've never listened to that, Black Magic is one of the best songs ever made with Angie Stone. There's so yeah, Styles is untouchable in so many ways.
And shout out to Votto one more time. Disappearing Acts, Box Tricks, Dave Blaine. Come on, bro. I know that shit. But fucking, he's just too. Those other guys are
Hot
just
Mike's like
OGs.
Joe Dumars.
No
Votto-
wife, got 4 gumas.
Or Dumars. Oh my god. All right, we'll keep it moving. Joe Burrow or Josh Allen. We don't need to talk about it.
Actually, I should have had that line. That's
That
my
whole
line.
free is ridiculous. That whole
Yeah,
free.
that freestyle is
When
crazy.
he was walking around the city with camera on it was insane. Those days are the best.
Jadakiss is like, rest in peace, D Ferg. I'm in my same gang.
Yeah,
he went crazy.
He's like, that's great.
Yeah. Nah, Votto, but it was a moment. Votto was a moment. Those guys are
For sure.
timeless.
Yeah,
And there's-
Votto was a moment.
that was always the thing. It was always like when you had that freestyle and you knew it was like a moment. You could tell
Yeah.
like this was different.
Wow. Well, another episode. We just got to get into like YouTube freestyles. So,
Yeah,
come up
Joel,
with a
the
good
fucking
question.
Rap City. Oh my God. Over
Joe
the
Budden. Us Cowboys don't need
many.
you. You Bill Parcells.
Cassidy, there's a couple. There's
Oh my
ridiculous
God.
Cassidy. There's so many.
Cassidy. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
we can
yeah.
really get into it. All right,
Next
keep
question.
moving, Let's keep moving.
Carry
Joe
away.
Burrow or Josh Allen? Let's
question,
not get
great
into that. Josh Allen is. Yeah, we're done with Joe Burrow, I think, for right now. We talked about the Bengals, so we'll see what happens with that team and T. Higgins' injury.
My
but
man Slim Shady. I'm not.
Josh Allen's got a hand thing, right? He broke his hand or something like that, left hand.
Yeah, Josh Allen's the type of dude.
Matter.
who-
He's from Wyoming. Or
If
whatever.
you love
hand.
Tebow, you gotta love Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is the
You know
Cam
what I'm saying?
Newton but white version.
What?
Yeah. Okay, Josh Allen is Cam Newton but white.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. We lost
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
Mount Rushmore of Knicks players. So you said Carmelo, Patrick, Jalen Brunson, and Amari Stoudemire. I honestly want to compliment you. This is a great list. I didn't think of Amari, I'll be honest. Brunson was borderline, but a guy that I would replace Brunson with is Allen Houston for me. Growing up, like Allen Houston was the man shooter, and I was a shooter. I just loved his game, his steady Eddie, the stoic dude. But your list was great. I love the Amari take. Melo's got to be there for any Knicks fan. If you don't have Melo on there, then you didn't watch the Knicks. You have no idea what you're talking about. And all the dog years. But well, I'll get John back on. Don't worry.
Yo,
We're talking about this here. But
yeah, you're
yeah,
talking
so,
about Newton.
so I do agree with Melo. And Patrick have to be there. Patrick is the staple. He's got to be there. Melo's got to be there. I feel like too. Brunson is the guy that I feel like is that makes sense. But I Allen Houston would get some love. And Amari.
Hang on one second.
Who's that? Who's your four?
No, hang on. Well, I got to interject.
No
quickly.
Amari. I would think I would do Allen Houston for me and Brunson.
No Walt Frazier. No Willis Reed. No.
I'm sorry,
Legends.
respectfully, if I didn't watch you, I'm not picking you.
That's
I
fair.
said for you. So
I'm
yeah,
not
I agree
there.
with that.
I don't know. Walt Frazier also being on the commentary.
I didn't say
I
all
love
time
him.
hot.
I
said
love
for
him.
you. I said for you.
I love him.
In the,
Yeah.
I can even show the question on the screen. You can see it says
No,
for you.
I know. I understand.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just Amari over Walt Clyde Frazier seems tough.
I think I was in a time of my life, I was, high school, like Amari came, we were bad for a while. Of course, I could have threw
He was
Sprewell
the
over
first
there
guy
over
to kind of start
Stoudemire.
that. Yeah.
I could have threw Sprewell over there with
The original
Stoudemire for sure.
Julius Randle.
Like I would have picked Sprewell over Walt Clyde again, because that's just what I grew up loving. Like that guy was with the shits. He was I
would do
tough guy, and-
I would do Sprewell over Amari, but I get what you're saying. Where he's the first free agent who chose New York.
And then
Yeah,
I was
it was a
just
big
like,
time.
oh wow, like we're about to be it. Like I remember just being in that world of like.
We just
Oh,
called
shit,
Votto a
something.
moment. Amari Stoudemire was also a moment for sure. He was like leading among the league leaders in points per game.
He got MVP votes. I remember that year. He was
Yeah,
amazing.
But
for
he's
us.
the only one who kind of survived those
Yeah.
suspect knees.
He was great.
They were
I
doing
love
back in the
Amari.
day that took out a lot of guys like Allen Houston.
He was so good for New York, Amari. He was perfect for
And
us.
beyond just his Nick days, Amari Stoudemire and Steve Nash was a problem.
Probably.
Those alleys that he threw.
Oh, dude, that was
those
my
alleys.
2K.
Oh,
It was Amari, Steve Nash. That was a squad. Sean Marion, like that was it.
Joe Johnson.
I was gonna say Joe Johnson shooting. Yeah, that was a good 2K squad. I just ran with the Miami Heat, Jason Capono, and just perfected the release.
All right, let's keep it moving here. Would you rather get hit on a slant blind by Sean Taylor or get clotheslined by the Big Show?
This isn't even a question. The clothesline is a fake. It's not even real. It's fucking staged.
No, we gotta
Fucking Sean
imagine that it's
Taylor.
real. Like, I'm talking about
He
a
can
real
hit me
clothesline by
hard.
a big guy like
I
that.
know that the ring is not gonna eat me up. Sean
Yeah.
Taylor, if he hits me, my body,
Might
my
be dead.
soul's gonna
That
leave
might
my
be
body.
Done. He could be paralyzed.
Did you see what he did in the All-Star game? Who did he do that to?
Of course, he did it to
The
Mormon.
punter, the Brian Mormon, the punter. Yeah.
He lit him up. That was messed up.
crazy.
And the guy dapped him up too. Is that Apothic? I'm an
No.
alcoholic, I guess.
What?
Is that Apothic?
The wine.
Yeah, you're an alcoholic.
I'm an
Yeah,
alcoholic.
straight
apparently.
up. That is great.
I'm not an
I mean,
alcoholic.
screen
I'm
is-
not an alcoholic, but I do know
it's in the
wine.
chat.
I do live in the Bay, so something. I suppose. There you go.
Yeah, something.
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 But yeah, I
like
guess
that.
I agree. Sean Taylor was a beast, and yeah.
Bro, Sean Taylor would kill, dude.
No, clothesline by 7 foot.
We played football, right? Growing up, I was like,
Yeah.
I know how it feels to take a lick, bro.
Actually,
I've been in fights.
I've
I've
been
been
waiting.
punches better than hits in
For
football.
Bradshaw's clothesline from hell.
But hang on, hang on.
With you.
I've been finding a place to find this take where I could fit it in, and I'm glad I have here. So, what you're saying is a clothesline, as bad as it could be, let's say he's trying to hurt you. He's still, you can still see him embrace your body for impact and kick. If Sean Taylor hits you blind where you can't see him coming, it's just like fighting. It's the shots that you can't see coming that knock you out. In football, it's way worse. Say like you're getting into a head-to-head with Derrick Henry. Like that's terrible. That's very painful, but you brace your body for impact. A way worse point of contact in terms of injury and also just pain is when, let's say, you're covering someone and you're on them like glue, but the quarterback makes a good low throw, and then you are following them to the ground trying to break it up, and then one of your teammates who's either in zone or comes off of their man goes over the top of the receiver and hits you when you don't see that coming. That's
Inadvertent.
way worse. That's
I just
way
think
worse.
straight up, there's no comparison between a hard-hitting legendary safety and a wrestler doing a wrestling move to me. And that's just the bottom line. Like we played football, put the pads on, you can run as hard as you can, knowing it's coming.
Yeah.
And that guy got a little bit more oomph than you. You are getting rocked, and your head's gonna be. You're not gonna know where you are for a little bit.
Logan wins.
Those hits are the hits that change kids' paths in life.
I don't know. When I was thinking about the question, I was just imagining like the clothesline from hell, like just like the craziest fucking coming across. I felt like, I don't know, maybe it would hold up
Anything you don't see coming versus something you can see coming isn't even
Mike
close.
Tyson's most famous move was the duck turn, and the guy's like looking the other way, and the guy just turns around, and he just knocks him the fuck out.
Yeah, if you've ever been punched, hit, anything where you don't see it coming is way worse.
Yeah. All right, last question here. Name the 5 best teams in the NFL right now, excluding the top 4 from last year. So you said the Jets, the Cowboys.
I had a terrible list in front of me. I
Texans.
wasn't really having the standings, but yeah, spit it at me. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Jets. It doesn't matter the standings. That doesn't matter. Jets, Texans, Cowboys, Philly, and who was the 5th team? Packers. That seems good. I think the Packers might have a problem a little bit just because their division's good. Chicago's not a walk. Detroit's not a walk. And who's the 4th team in that division?
The Bears.
I said the Bears. Bears, Lions,
Packers, and the Vikings.
Vikings, that's it. Vikings could be a walk this year, that's true. But Sam Darnold looked pretty good for first week, so I don't know. I don't know. That won't hold up.
National Football League.
They're probably going to get pulverized next week.
They're the worst team in the National Football League.
I know, the Giants are. But anyway.
No, Sam Darnold played the last team, the worst team in the National Football League.
Yeah. Agreed. True. Okay. Fair enough. Yes, that's true. We just said the same thing. I'm going to clip that. That's pretty embarrassing. Okay.
I think Eddie's list is finished out pretty well. When you asked the question, the first day, three teams that came to my mind were Cowboys, Eagles, Texans. I think the Packers is a good call. They were front of mind also. It's tough after that, I would say.
I feel the Rams.
I like the Rams.
No.
I like the Rams. They can run the ball.
I don't like the defense enough.
They can run the ball. I think they have a shot. They got a good coach.
They get Stafford, though. They get Stafford happy, and they don't run the ball enough sometimes when the game really needs them to run the ball. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I get a little feeling that like McVay starts calling all these passes for Stafford and it just becomes the Cooper Kupp show. And like,
I'll tell you my bottom 5 teams. I'll give you the Giants, the Commanders, the Panthers, the Titans, and the
Denver?
Nah, I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
I was gonna say the Raiders. Yeah, I think that's right. Zamir White fumbled. Like that was never gonna be good. I don't think he has some pop, but it's not sustainable. It's like a Pollard but worse. I just I agree with the Raiders take for sure. Giants for sure. I feel like Minnesota eventually will bottom out, especially when Aaron Jones inevitably gets hurt. Like I just
saying that they were good.
No, I'm saying that I was kind of joking in jest about Sam Darnold. Like I wasn't. This is like
I think the Vikings are.
Vikings could be
fine.
They're well coached. They're well coached. You know, they have
well coached.
Forbes over there, and the head coach I actually like a lot.
I like Kevin O'Connell a ton.
I like
Sam
him.
Sam Darnold has Jordan Addison and fucking Justin Jefferson this year, like we talked about last week, this is by far the best situation he's came into besides the Niners, but he didn't have a chance to play for the Niners.
And Hawkinson's going to come back. They still do have Ty Chandler too as the backup, so they have some formidable pieces on offense, I would say, to hang around enough and give teams problems. They could sneak a couple wins in their division.
They'll be much better than the teams I named. I'll say
absolutely,
that.
for sure, absolutely.
Who are your top 5 outside those 4?
No, I think yours are right. I think the only one I would maybe take out and put in is the Bills for the Packers. Maybe that would be one.
Bills are good.
That's valid.
Yeah, I think that maybe is a good one, or maybe Miami for Packers too.
I really hate this talk about like Josh Allen being overrated. I think it's
no. Once he's like the guy that you have to hit him.
Bullshit.
You have to hit him, and then once you hit him, and he actually cares, and he's locked in, then you're fucked. That's kind of how it works.
To be like that, I could easily ship away Stephon Diggs, and my team's gonna be good. It's just like the confidence. Like,
pride.
That was what the dynamic was. Like at the end of the day, Stephon Diggs is a diva. Josh Allen likes the ball, so if he wants to run, he's gonna run. Yep. Even if you're open, I'm still gonna run, and he didn't like that. Yep. And so they made it seem like it's Josh Allen's the problem. He's not the problem. He's a baller, and it's his team. It's always gonna be his team until he leaves.
After Mahomes, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. No question.
Agreed.
Question button. Bang.
Yeah.
Anybody that thinks anything different, you could think CJ Stroud
is lost.
Maybe is coming, but he's not there yet. Too young.
CJ Stroud is 3rd on my list, and this was like from the end of last season. After those two,
he's amazing. All right, I want to get into some of our matchups from our fantasy a little bit.
Let's do it.
All right, we have a couple minutes here at the end here. We don't have to take too long here. We're doing great on time, honestly, so this is awesome.
Yeah, take our time and make it natural. It's all good. I'm chilling.
Yeah, but I got all the matchups up here. We can start with your matchup, Eddie. Let me get.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now what was wrong with my matchup, and I'm not going to hear anything.
Wait. You're saying there's something wrong with your matchup?
No, I can tell you how I failed this week.
Oh, I don't think you failed. Let him
talk. Let him talk.
Take it away.
This is where I'm at. At the end of the day, I know I had a lot of talk about my team, and I'm honestly going to agree. The JSN was a bad reach. Najee, again, I don't totally recall, but I remember there wasn't much stuff. Haas, you corrected me, though. You said what, Mixon was still there when I got Najee?
Well, no, that was Kamara. So when you got Najee, I don't have offhand who was.
Yeah, honestly, I don't believe there was much.
It's right behind this thing. We can take everyone down here and take a look. Give me a second.
Just talk about your matchup.
I personally think this is what my matchup. I think, honestly, shout out to my man Joey. Yeah, all talking mad shit about my man's team. Honestly, he got the best quarterback in the league. Shout out to him for picking James Conner. James Conner might have went. I wonder if James Conner went before Najee. Could you tell, Zach?
Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now.
Cool. He didn't have a,
cool,
whatever. He got injured. Yeah, blah, blah. Shout out to my Dallas team showing out best defense this week. I mean, the defense of me, and in my defense, I should say. Excuse me. Shout out for me picking Likely and getting Likely in the cut.
Yeah.
It looks like Lamar loves him. Like that's his guy.
Yeah.
Like that's who he looks for. And 2. My number 1 pick gave me 4 points.
Like that was a lot of people. That was a lot of people for the record. A lot of star players.
Jameson Williams had 121 yards.
Name a starting wide receiver in the first or second round. Name them, and I'm sure that there's a good chance, over a 90% chance, they did.
Jamar Chase.
I stood on the take of Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Both should have been over Amon-Ra St. Brown. Right. I'm going to stand on it all year. Okay. I think he was overdrafted this year. I think it does come to pop culture where he's on the Netflix receiver show.
No.
See him. Not you personally, but I'm just saying he got elevated in the fantasy ADP universe because of
110 touchdowns earns that too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying 1,510, like you could say those numbers over and over and over again, but at the end of the day, I know players also, and I know how fucking good Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase are. And I don't think as good as Amon-Ra St. Brown is, those guys are more talented NFL wide receivers than he is. And I think fantasy, we overvalue situation a lot of time over
100%.
player talent. and we're like, oh, the Lions are good. They got Goff. But they also have a head coach who loves to run the fucking ball.
No, right.
They also have a tight end who's going to catch a ton of passes. They also, so we're like, all right, we could find anything good in a situation and anything bad in a situation, and it's all speculation. But at the end of the day, I know Justin Jefferson is a better overall player than Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
I agree.
To go back to your Najee take real quick, there wasn't a lot on the board, but I said the same thing to Casey about the Aaron Jones pick. He had a good week 1, but still, I don't love that pick. You also put yourself in that situation where now you're drafting at a thin running back class.
Right.
So you can't just be like, there was no one there. Well, that's kind of your own – you put yourself there,
Right, for sure.
So – but your matchup this week, I think Joey overperformed, like you said. I know that it's week 1. Everyone kind of put up points. I know we're in the new PPR format. Shout out to Rob, fucking getting an advantage this year. Fucking drafting, being the only one besides Eddie playing PPR.
Right.
But moving forward, I think your team is in a decent spot. Like you said, you had Likely on the bench, I believe. You could still plug him in, make moves going forward. Zach, I know you've been waiting all episode to fucking gloat about being top scorer this week. Talk to us.
Gloat?
Shout out to Zach, though. I'm not going to lie. He was getting shit all draft.
Finally. This is crazy.
Yeah, but not for nothing.
This is insane. At this point, it's insane. I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm nice.
I think it's insane to be like, my draft was good after week 1. It still is a long season.
To have my team go out and do that, which is obviously an overperformance, but to go 172 on the board, that's fucking nuts.
It is full point this year.
And everyone was over 8 points, and only 2 players weren't in double figures. That's awesome. That's what you want.
I think it was a great week, some great starts. Obviously, Dobbins, I shouted out. That's a very, very good start. But in terms of that being a draft pick, I've never seen that guy play a full season since Ohio State. Is that something you can rely on all year? No one's dropping Gus Edwards in a 14-team league. Is this something that's fucking repeatable?
No, probably not.
Honestly, I'm looking at it like.
But he might get more run. We see Carolina next week. Chargers have an easy schedule because they were terrible last year. So I don't know. He's definitely the guy with the more pop in that backfield. When he's running, they're just going to continue to give him the ball because Gus doesn't really have that pop. There's going to be all the opportunity there. But you're right. The injury thing is inevitable, it feels like, with him. But maybe this will be the one season that it's not. And it'll just be one of those random seasons. We've seen that from running backs before. He's 25. Let's be clear. He's not like an older statesman, 30-year-old, like everyone wants to assign to him because he had these injuries. He nursed the knee injury and he didn't really chill on the knee, and then he played through it, and then he
comes a Philip Lindsay the one year he goes off.
Exactly.
One of these guys.
If
he gives me 4 weeks before Jonathan Brooks comes back, it's a fucking W. That's all I gotta say.
Go ahead, Eddie. Interject.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Honestly, I'm just looking at this team, and you drop 172 with this guy Mason on your bench, and it's just like, shout out to you, Zach. They can throw whatever the fuck they want. You have a pretty solid team. You have one of the best running backs in the league. Lamar showed out. Jerome Ford, I don't know how long that's going to last for, but shout out to you for getting him. Diggs, I love. I don't know why everyone was skeptical about drafting him. And he's
like Tank Dell is in the back.
Tank Dell, Nico Collins. Dude, last year, there was 3 receivers on that team that still had 1,000 yards receiving. And Stephon Diggs is going to be one of those guys this year.
For
100%.
Sure. I like that too.
And
I love what I saw from Ladd. He could have caught 2 touchdowns in that game. To be honest, they're looking for pass catchers, and he has some wiggle to him. The touchdown that he caught was not in the end zone. It's about 3 or 4 yards before he makes a nice juke 1-2, walks into the end zone. Ladd's nice. So people have been sleeping and hating on that pick, Jermaine. And then what happens? He scores a touchdown in his rookie game. So thank you very much.
He also picked Worthy.
Huh?
Jermaine did get Worthy though.
Jermaine had I want to shout out Jermaine. I have a couple people I want to shout out actually. If it's okay, I want to shout out a few people. Jermaine with Jaden Reed and X-Worthy, both excellent starts, excellent draft picks. I think they're both very possible to have that huge game a lot. I don't think it's necessarily going to be a one-off. I don't think Reed will have what he had again, but maybe another game in the 20s for sure. A couple of games maybe in the 20s. Worthy is a guy also that I think could inevitably just stay in the fold. He had a lot of snaps. Seemed like even when he wasn't getting the ball, he was a part of the action. They liked using him a lot. So I like him as well, just being a guy that could maybe possibly just be a fill-in starter guy, a flex guy for them, maybe a borderline WR3. But so those are a couple of guys I like with Jermaine. Casey, I like the Chargers defense start. That was really good. They're kind of were unproven of a defense. There's always been, whatever with that team. Obviously, Jim joined, but I like that start from Casey. I think they got 15 points. That was nice. Hots, I have a couple nice starts with you. The Groupie Saints Cabo, that I really like that a lot. That was just genius. Like, obviously, Carolina's dog shit. They beat the fuck out of them. New Orleans defense balled out, and fucking Groupie was amazing. So I love that. And then Ficini, I want to shout out too. Third best scorer in our league. Jameson Williams start. Love to see
Auto draft king.
Lotto's love to see it. Whatever, and he gets it done. And it seemed like he was active actually this year. Shout out to Ficini, the silent member of our league, but really nice work with the Jameson Williams start. That was electric, and I like what I saw. There's a couple nice starts I want to shout out.
Yeah. Shout out to Zach. After that, it was, he was in the 170s. I think me, Casey, and Ficini were low 140s to follow that up. I think every winning team at over 120. I know that the PPR full point is going to boost numbers, obviously, but I think evaluating my own team, my own personal matchup, Jamie is, I hope he watches this. Coming in, that was an embarrassing week 1 showing. To have, like I said, it's the simplest thing. Move McCaffrey where Singletary is.
Happened in another league of mine as well, John.
You have a Monday Night Football wide receiver on your bench. You have a flex running back. You could switch with McCaffrey. If he doesn't play, he's been questionable.
Ron Jennings was sitting on waivers.
It's amateur hour at the Apollo.
Mickey Mouse management.
Fucking Mickey Mouse management. Fucking Tiny Tim. Team leading. Whatever you want to fucking alliteration you want to use. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bull running. I don't know. I'm fucking rambling now. But as for my own team, there's at the top, I'm very happy about it. Obviously Joe Mixon, 30 carries in his first game. He's a bell cow. He's going to help that team a ton. I really love
70. Sorry.
Like 160 yards in that game, I think. Yeah.
So, just be a beast. Obviously, Tyreek Hill. Again, thanks, Jamie, for letting me get Tyreek Hill. I wanted him the entire time at the number 2 spot. I didn't want McCaffrey. Fell right to me. Exactly what I wanted to happen. I have a future on Tyreek Hill, Offensive Player of the Year, that I'm about ready to fucking cash. That celebration of getting arrested, I hope he does that shit all season. That's
Waddle coming over and escorting him was fucking unbelievable.
I'll give one more thing that I'm, feel decent about, not great about, and that's Devontae Adams. I think that he's a floor guy. He's a guy who's going to get me decent points every week. Some weeks he's going to have 2 touchdown catches. But he's going to have a floor every week and just going to get me points towards that 130 mark. You're probably going to need to guarantee a win in this league or get close to guaranteeing one. Right. And then lastly, my concerns, Caleb Williams, he had a touchdown pass dropped, but honestly, the ball was coming out wobbly. And I think there is a monicum of excitement, first game in the NFL, outside in Chicago, just rushing a little bit. But overall, besides just not throwing up the stats, there were also the eye test things that didn't look great. Not like the Caleb Williams I know. And to piggyback on that, Rome Odunze,
right?
Well, I think he's healthy, but I think Keenan Allen is out, so maybe he'll take that role. But
no, Keenan's good. I thought I saw.
Either way, Rome Odunze not getting open. His one catch was off a crazy bounce off the defender's helmet that he fumbled and an offensive lineman recovered. Rome Odunze is a pick that's got me shaking in my boots a little bit. So I'm going to have to do some waiver wire work. I'm top heavy, so I think I have a good low floor. My team's strong at the top, but might have to find a quarterback, might have to find a flex. We got work to do. Might have to make a trade.
Who's on the block?
I'm smelling here. I'm smelling more than ever that people got to start communicating because
Casey wants smoke.
People got to divest.
You can trade with Casey. He's fucking done. The worst.
Let me ask you, I know Carolina got their ass smoked, and there's no Brooks or whatever, but Hubbard started, right? So how you got 1 point?
I just figured that the defense was going to be good. I don't know if it would be that bad. 1.4 points.
Hubbard. It wasn't Hubbard.
It wasn't
I don't
Hubbard.
think, what running back did good though? I don't think anyone did.
Miles
good.
Sanders, I believe, had the snaps there. I'm not looking at it.
Okay.
I believe when I saw it was highlights, if I'm remembering correctly.
I remember Miles Sanders touching the ball a little bit too. I think that was like when they were. I think Hubbard might have started, and Sanders was like in against New Orleans backups. Like, and then
I love to, as a Jonathan
play.
Brooks owner for the fucking record, I love to see what I'm seeing over there because the moment he's available, 30 carries, see a fucking
Easy. 30 carries. Easy.
Might be 30 carries for 16 yards. The way their fucking team looks, though.
True.
Unfortunately.
True. I mean,
Or
he's
maybe
talented.
not 30 carries because they're down 21-0 and they can't run the ball 30 times.
PPR, I'll take the fucking screens all day long from Bryce Young.
Yeah.
The dumb. It's the only way he can look anyway.
I mean, I do
Hold
think
the
the
fucking
Saints
offensive
defense
line.
is decent, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, anyone else we got to shout out? I mean, I think
In our
we just-
league, I mean, I wasn't really so. I think the one thing I would say is that there were some tough L's. I feel like 120 usually will get the job done. So Eddie, I feel like you had a good week. I wouldn't look at the reflection of the W or L as the basis of your team.
No, I'm honestly, guys.
I'm
I'm
very
just
optimistic
saying
on your
about
team. John, obviously, you mentioned the things that I would have mentioned about your team. You have some really good players on your team. I am more optimistic about Devontae Adams as well. I think that you're exactly right about his floor. He's 10 up is the way I look at him. And, but I obviously, you talked about the other things there with your team, so that you have to address there at some point or another. But I still think that there's a lot of available players that are on waivers. I also think that inevitably Trey Benson could be in the fold at some point or another this season.
Well, that's my issue. My bench is all stash.
Yeah, a lot of you guys are stashed. I do
I'm-
like Luke McCaffrey, though, is one guy I wanted to mention. I think he had a decent amount of snaps in that game. I've said about him, he's just weird and twitchy, and he plays weird positions. He can line up a lot of places on the field. He used to be a quarterback. Like
He's a stash as well, as far as I'm concerned, though. I don't think he's a
he'll
plug and play.
progressively get better, though. I
Me
like
too.
him,
That's the definition of a
Yeah,
stash.
yeah.
Thanks.
for sure, exactly. So
But I am at a point where it's like some of these stashes I'm probably gonna have to give up on. I mean, I do like McMillan. It's also a point where Caleb Williams is on a short leash. That's the main point. I'm a guy who's designed to get 15 plus points from a quarterback. I'm not quarterback dependent. That's not how I play. That's not how I play fantasy in general. So I need to get a decent game out of I can't have my quarterback put up single digits every week. That's
I can't even have to put 12.
Caleb,
Like,
and there's
50 plus.
I don't need them getting 30. I need them 15 plus
50
consistently.
We talked about this too with Caleb, that the preseason he's turning his back to the defense and running around like a hyena, and he thinks that's going to get it done in the NFL when you have starters in there. And these guys start scouting you week to week. Like Bo Nix was getting sat on all game in that Seattle game. It's like he looked so good in preseason. Looks like Daniel Jones in preseason. He was getting sat on by Witherspoon and Woolen. All these guys were just egging him on to throw the ball. They picked him in the red zone anytime they wanted it. It was too easy out there. I was watching. I was like, this Seattle. I was like, watch, pick right here. Like, this is coming. You could just feel it. It's like
I have a take. Real NFL fans don't even watch preseason football. Real football fans don't even watch preseason football. I didn't see a lick of Caleb Williams in preseason besides maybe a couple highlights.
Hard knocks. You know what's hard knocks?
Hype train is fuck.
I fucking watched Caleb Williams at USC. I watch Hard Knocks in the offseason when I'm jonesing for for I save it. And then I'll watch it when I'm like, oh, I need good football
That's what we were just doing, exactly.
When the MLB season is when the NFL season is over, I'll go back and watch Hard Knocks.
That's cool.
Because I'll have no football to watch besides that. So that's a pretentious thing. You shouldn't do that unless you're a weirdo like me. I'm a weirdo, so I miss football when it's not around.
And those people are watching it before and getting the hype train on.
My Caleb Williams take is from his USC play. Obviously with any quarterback evaluator, evaluation. I'm not an evaluator. I'm just a regular guy. But my point being is that everyone has bad and good takes about college football quarterbacks coming out. So it could be a bad take that Caleb Williams is going to be good.
He's going to be good. I agree. He's going to be good. I think he's good.
Something smells.
I think his growing pains is his first game ever, and he's the first one to break that curse in 20-something years to win his first game.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty.
Daniel Jones had a nice first game.
Wasn't pretty, but he did it.
No, but I'll tell you what he also did. He didn't turn the ball over once. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
he didn't pull a Levis, is what we can say. He didn't pull
no Levis. He won the game, and obviously that doesn't matter in fantasy, but there's something to be said for that in terms of just what kind of player person he is
Yeah.
that like he's not gonna fucking blow it for you, and you
Right.
could build
Fuck,
for that.
by the way, Eddie, I want to mention this. I just have to say, you 100% got fucked this week's matchup. In my opinion, that was the worst loss of the week. Looking at all of them, it's not even a question. The idea, the top heaviness of Joey's team is just really unbelievable between Godwin, Connor, and Josh Allen. Everyone else is basically run of the mill, 10 points or less. I mean, you really had some nice weeks from different guys. AR,
All I
Kamara,
needed
Waddle.
was that first round pick.
Yeah, all you needed was your first round pick to just do exactly what he was supposed to do,
That's it.
and you win the week easily. McLaurin also 3 points is egregious. I want to talk about something that I heard a stat about a lot of quarterbacks, like at least 10 plus quarterbacks, average throw this past week was under 3 yards.
How about this?
Average throw distance. Jaden Daniels was like
yeah,
74 yards in the third quarter. I was talking about this in the offseason that McLaurin and these guys get affected by the quarterback. Everyone's telling me, oh, McLaurin gets 1,000 yards every fucking year. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, yes, Jaden Daniels can probably figure out how to throw the ball, but still, if he is exactly what we just saw, and it's one of these types of kind of Lamar Jackson Jr. type of games, in a sense, like running, but not really a lot of passing yards, but he's effective because he can run, and you can't stop him kind of running. So the throws are almost like the backup plan. These guys that are throwing the ball under 3 yards, a lot of guys are doing it now. Like, it feels like the screen game and all that bullshit is like how a lot of teams like run their offense now completely.
Is that what you think it is? Like, I don't know what it is, but like I saw too many stats where, for example, like this year, week 1, there's about 30 touchdowns that quarterbacks threw this year. In 2021, there was 60.
Yeah.
And then this year, the average quarterback, the average amount of passing yards this year for quarterbacks was 188.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
There was only 2 quarterbacks with 300 yards passing. Yeah,
Dak Prescott didn't have 188.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it just feels like weird. Like the league is just like, it's like, I don't know how to explain that because they're doing everything they can to invoke offense is what's funny. They're trying like the kickoff. They're trying all these rules on offense to protect the players. They do everything they can possibly do to score as many points as fucking possible. It's never been easier to score points. So it just shows that these defensive elite athletes, that is one thing I would say towards this, and the lack of actual good fucking quarterbacks. We bloviate about these fucking losers, and we make them into these guys that are fucking nothings, truly. Even Dak Prescott is a good quarterback, but let's be fucking clear. We're all football heads here. We know what the fuck that is. He needs a team around him to win the Super Bowl. He's not the guy that's necessarily going to pull the team up and win the Super Bowl, and we all know that. And let's be clear. He's a good player. He plays great a lot. But
you could be Patrick Mahomes. You need a team around you to win the Super Bowl. What kind of take is that?
But I'm saying like Patrick Mahomes is a guy that can pull his team up. I feel like even when they were not even a muggy offense last year, he's just gonna pull it out of his ass and do it. There's not a lot of those quarterbacks left anymore.
No.
There's not a lot of guys that feel like
he needed Chris Jones and McDuffie and Snead on defense. They carried them. They wouldn't even been in the position to make the playoffs.
It's still like Mahomes.
No, he's better than Dak Prescott, but to be like, oh, like. Zach loves to talk about people who can't win
more
Super
about
Bowls.
Dak's a great quarterback. And maybe
Zach loves to be like, oh, this person can't win a Super Bowl. It's the easiest taking about 31 or 32 players.
No.
Win a Super Bowl for a year. You know what I mean? It's
let me clarify.
Guys who can't win a Super Bowl.
Let me clarify. I actually think I actually think Dak is trending towards a top 5 quarterback this year, and he's been one for a couple years now. And I'm not like hating on him. I don't think that he can't do it either. But what I'm more saying is like there's only a select quarterbacks. Is more what I'm not. It's not more about hate about Dak. It's more about that there aren't a lot of guys like Mahomes who can actually pull that team and pull the whole team like Josh Allen does on their back and just completely will the team to a win. It feels like. Am I wrong on that?
No, I don't think you're wrong on that. I think that the quarterback play is worse now than we're used to.
Yeah.
Because it's younger than we're used to.
That's good too. Yeah.
We watched Drew Brees and Tom Brady and Peyton Manning in their 30s.
That's so true.
You know what I mean? Now,
Aaron Rodgers.
Even a guy like Jalen Hurts, who we're like is an established veteran, is like 26 or 27 years old. Like we haven't seen these guys come into their primes yet. Even guy like we talk about Trevor Lawrence. You got to show me. Even Dak is like the oldest one. He's like 30. Like just
honestly, 30. I wish we had like the the resources right now to go pull that up. But it's probably like half the quarterbacks. I would say. I hope it's not getting carried away. I think half the quarterbacks are under 25 years old.
Man.
Oh, I think that's
probably.
Yeah, I mean under 27 for sure. Like if not 20,
Lamar.
Like Jordan Love is right at like 25. Lamar is like 26.
Right. Yeah,
Hurts is like 26 or 27. Like I said, you know, like I do believe that like We had the changing of the guard just happen. Even Joe Burrow is in his mid to late 20s. You know, we had this changing of the guard where now the only older quarterbacks, I'd say quarterbacks over 30 off the top of my head who are good, at least, like are the Matt Staffords. Dak just turned 30. And then Jared Goff is, you know, and Aaron Rodgers, obviously, we just talked about a changing of the guard. Aaron Rodgers is the last of the old guard.
Hanging on for dear life, for the record.
And to be clear, I'm sure if we looked into it before Peyton, Brady, Breeze, and these guys elevated, there probably was that same set of quarterback lull when it was like old Joe Bledsoe, old Brett Favre, old John Elway.
Yeah.
You know, and then those guys come up. I think it's more of a natural cycle.
We've been spoiled as fuck. The amount of like litter of quarterbacks over the years, generally speaking, I feel like this is kind of in our generation, in our life, think about it, like this could be one of the worst eras in general of starters across the league. No?
Yeah. I do. I think that, like I said, and I don't think they're just not talented. I just think they're inexperienced.
Correct.
And it's rare when a guy like Mahomes can just come in. But I also think like I just overblew situation in terms of fantasy, but in terms of actual NFL coming in with Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo,
Alex Smith right in front of you to learn from. It's just
to sit for a year, and then you have Travis Kelce, the ultimate security blanket. Your first couple of years, you have Tyreek Hill taking.
And they had a good running back too. Who was it before Edwards-Helaire? Somebody else on that team, on that Chiefs team.
Man, I don't know if the running back play was ever elevating, but good O-line, good coaching, good everything. Good coaching,
just Jeff Schwartz in the beginning on that O-line. There's a lot of guys that came through there.
Mitchell Schwartz,
yeah.
But like I said, Spagnuolo and Andy Reid, borderline top 10 offensive and defensive mind in NFL history.
Yeah.
To come in.
That helps too. But Mahomes, as we see, is beyond the playbook. And I think that's kind of what we're talking about quarterbacks, that the guys that can go beyond the playbook are the guys that really will have the best chance to win the Super Bowl, and that can go beyond just the quintessential calling the offense.
But my criticism of that take isn't because you're wrong. My criticism of that take is that it's easy. He's the second best quarterback of all time already. He's obviously way above everyone else.
I'm more saying that there aren't a lot of them is more important.
But there aren't a lot of them in history.
Yeah.
Let alone, you know what I mean?
And that's what I mean when I say we're spoiled, because we had like 4 or 5 of them in the league at the same time.
He has 3 Super Bowl rings. Other quarterbacks with at least 3 Super Bowl rings. That list is Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Troy Aikman, and Terry Bradshaw. Ever. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, what we were like, obviously there's a difference between him and everyone else.
Yeah. It's wild. Yeah, he's different for sure. But I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say about the fucking matchups, Eddie? And any shit talk you want for anybody? You want smoke for anybody? You're muted.
Sorry about that. Say that again, Zach.
You got smoke for anybody? Because people were hating on you for Kamara pick.
I'm not. Yeah, honestly, I don't want to smoke with Hots.
You got smoke? Oh, with Hots.
Hots was when I got on that chat. I logged in last week. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed the show. 100%.
Hell yeah! Thank you.
And, there's a lot of hot takes. I was tuned in, and unfortunately, when I tuned in, it was my team being talked about.
Yeah, you're part of the show when you're commenting.
I'll take the criticism.
Yeah.
On the chain. Like, I know where I kind of effed up in the sense of the Najee and
No, I really don't even think you effed up. You put the right roster on the field.
No, the
roster on the field did not do what they were supposed to.
You know, but listen, my team is here to stay. Hope Waddle stays healthy. I'm not here to look at anyone's team and say I don't know if they got it. I looked at Jermaine's little sauce, but I'm gonna have some hope in my son. My man, what's his Jamie? I have to pick a team that's butt. I'm gonna go with Jamie.
You'll send the trade for Jordan Mason.
I would like the fact of the starting Devin Singletary. It just like blows my mind. But
hey, be nice to Devin Singletary. He's just trying to get paid and be a good guy.
He's
kick a guy when he's down like that. That's what you do, Eddie. That's what you do. You kick people when they're down. That's what you do.
I'm 1-0. That's my sign off.
All right,
I'm coming.
I'm 1-0 too. For the record, I will. I have one question before we sign off here. Will anybody beat my points? 172. The whole
yes. 100%.
Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, so yes 100%. Eddie, you think yes 100% too?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so over 200, yes or no? 2-part question then.
Yes.
Yes.
Probably I think 196 will be the most.
All right, cool. It's on wax now, so we'll come back to this and we'll figure it out. 196 for him and 200 for him.
I think we've seen 200 with half point PPR in this double flex.
True. Full point is crazy.
Yeah,
It's not a reach.
Shout out B-Gun. All right, yo. Row 26. We out of here. Keep it locked. Be back next week. Eddie, appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Bro. Row 26ers, we out of here.